Good afternoon, I'm Jeff. I'm a sewer tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 223 Southeast 28th Avenue here in Portland. We're located inside the main floor bathroom. We pulled the toilet, going through the 4-inch cast iron flange. I'm going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We'll get water turned back on here in just a moment. And here we go. And if I can get through all these turns here right off the bat, I'm going to keep the camera moving very quickly. To keep momentum up, is going through this point of access is very difficult to push through all the turns, so I will reel back slower though. Anyway, here we go. We're going down through the vertical stack here. I'm gonna zero out right here. This is in the basement where the stack goes down into the basement floor. Here at 84 feet, this is as far out as I'm going to be able to get to. It's starting to move really slowly now. There's so much resistance on the camera, I risk breaking the camera at this point trying to shove any further. Just due to all those twists and turns. And the camera just hit a joint right here that it really doesn't want to pop up. Oh, there it does a little bit. But anyway, I'm going to locate and see where the camera head is at. We're most likely out into the city's responsibility at this point anyhow. We're going to let the line drain out here for about 5 minutes to totally drain out. The terracotta clay portion of the line, I kind of scooted through everything there just to keep the camera moving. But once the line transitioned from cast iron over to clay pipe, the entire clay section of the line essentially is completely shot. There's a root intrusion in almost every joint. If not roots, there's a lot of standing water. So it's just time for the clay pipe to have an update done to it. It's very old and it's time to go. Anyway, I'll map out as much of the line here as I can. Keep in mind that a portion, as long as the line goes out into the street from curb to curb, is the city's responsibility. I'll map out all the pipe, especially on property with white paint. I'll mention the depth and location of the repair in just a bit. I was able to locate the camera head. It was out in the street. It's a very, very busy road, so I'm not able to get out there and easily do locates, but I was able to tell there that we're about 5 feet out into the street here at this point. We're going to roll back here about 5 feet. I'll do a marking at the curb, and I'll work the locates back from there. But you can see here, even if there's not roots, we've got at least an inch of standing water in much of the pipe. Alright, I'm going to do a marking here. It'll be marked with a white X, or X is at least at the end. If I can locate the cast iron transition to clay, I'll mark that with a white T. So it'll be a white T at the beginning of the repair, an X at the end of it, and white lines or dots in between just showing the direction it runs. Alright, you may have to call for locates on this one. I just pulled the camera back there about 10 feet. And I'm picking up a very strong signal in the exact same spot each time. It looks like the power lines overhead are interfering with the locator. I'm going to try and do another set of locates right here. Alright, I was able to get a signal here. We're right at the edge of the driveway where the driveway essentially turns into the sidewalk, the driveway skirt. I'm getting the camera head there at 4 feet 5 inches deep. So I also wanted to point out that because the power line are interfering with the locate signal, I am not entirely sure at how far we made it out into the street, because the signal I was picking up on was that power line there at 84 feet when I originally thought that's where the camera head stopped at. So anyway, right now, if the line were to go dead straight, we'd hit the street curb in about 4 feet, or the edge of the street from here. It does look like it's traveling at an angle, but anyway, that there is in the driveway skirt area. Alright, line's kind of angling up the driveway and then off the driveway up the little berm that lines the right side of the driveway. That's where the camera currently is at. That steep and hard angled berm there makes it difficult to get an exact depth. The depth was bouncing around 6.5 feet or so there, so it's going to definitely be deeper than out at the sidewalk as the ground builds up towards the home. And I would look into all different types of repair, doing trenchless, like boring a line in, versus traditional trenching. Hey, we're only about 2 feet or so out from the front porch area here. I'm going to try and locate, this is our last spot here, and this is probably up underneath the deck, right here where the cast iron transitions to clay. Alright, and right here I lost the locator signal completely, and I was noticing when I looked up in the air that my paint markings are almost directly underneath the power line coming, the little stringer coming from the power lines to the house. It's almost, I mean, absolutely perfectly lined up with that power line, which could be total coincidence because I was getting the signal moving around like you're supposed to see, but it is right underneath the power line. So because of that, because of the difficulty I had out further locating the camera, and now I've lost the signal here, I do recommend calling for locates before doing any digging. My markings out there are to be considered rough. I've just had a few different spots here with some really difficult time getting locates. I think it's worth having locates called in. Anyway, I recommend repairing or replacing all the pipe from the terracotta transition there out to the end of the homeowner's responsibility, which is probably going to be at the street curb area. And it looks like we do have a little bit of standing water here. This could just be due to debris, though. It's kind of hard to tell. But if possible, I would start that repair up underneath the deck and do from the foundation out. The standing water right here is not terribly significant, but if you're already digging down there doing that much repair, you might as well just start right here. So I'm going to say the repair should start from 31 feet and extend out to, it's going to be roughly around 65 feet, 35 feet or so of sewer line that would be homeowner responsibility. The rest of the clay pipe is likely out in the street. Now, again, I cannot confirm that because the power line, or the locate I picked up at 84 feet where the camera stopped, I realized that that was a power line I was picking up on. Based on my locate at 60 feet, I would say that we were probably around 15 feet out into the road. That was a spot I was actually able to pick up on, it looks like. But anyway, definitely contact the city in this situation, get locates done to ensure we know where that line is at. But from 31 feet there, which is probably, based on my other locates, is going to be up underneath the decking, out to the end of the homeowner responsibility with the clay pipe, I recommend replacing all that. The city's end of it, they may not touch that. You can ask them to do that, as a lot of the clay pipe here is far beyond its design life. As far as the cast iron pipe there goes, it's not necessary to fix that last 2 or 3 feet of the cast iron to get rid of the belly. There's only about a 1/4 inch of standing water there. It just, if you're going to be down there doing that much work already, you might as well put a new piece of pipe there and just get rid of even a little bit of standing water there that there is. And I recommend a rescope after the repair work is done to ensure it was done properly. It's very important you do that after a repair that big. There's lots of things that can happen if someone messes up during the repair. You might have something that needs to be fixed. So definitely do a rescope after the repair work. I'm going to go ahead and reel the camera on out.